Hello everyone, and welcome back to Nightingale. Today we are going to see a really beautiful game, which is actually, you can say it's an handicap game played between Paul Morphy and Duke Karl and Count Isouard. Paul Morphy is playing against two players, Duke Karl and Count Isouard, and is actually a really beautiful game. This is also called as an opera game. So without any further ado, let's get started. So Paul Morphy here is playing with the white pieces, while Duke Karl and Count Isouard are playing with the black. So we go with Paul Morphy starts with e4, followed by e5, knight to f3, and d6. Pretty much standard, protecting this pawn as this knight attacks this pawn. Now Paul Morphy plays d4, hoping to exchange this pawn and then probably recapture with the knight. The two players, that is Duke Karl and Count Isouard, play bishop to g4, then followed by captures e5 and bishop captures knight on g4 on f3 square. So as you can see, the queen is under attack. If you would have noticed previously, if you go a few moves back, wait a second, yeah, this the idea of bringing out the bishop was to basically pin the knight to the queen, and so if Duke or these two players, that is Duke Karl and Count Isouard, if they captured this pawn, then knight wouldn't be able to recapture this. So it's a pretty good move. So bishop captures knight on f3, followed by queen capture queen captures bishop on f3, d captures e5, which is pretty standard. Next, Paul Morphy plays bishop to c4, threatening this mate, like it is nowadays called as the scholar's checkmate. In order to prevent this, the two players play knight to f6, as this blocks the vision of the queen from this pawn. Like this knight basically blocks the vision. And another way of attacking this pawn would be to slide your queen to h5. However, then knight is basically attacking is covering that square, and you will probably lose your, not probably, but for sure lose your queen. So queen slides to b3. Now this is something that is a very advanced move, I would say. Not beginners generally spot this. So this strengthens this battery and forms and still pressures this uh, f7 pawn here, because it is a weak pawn. In order to protect this, the two players play queen to e7. The two players play queen to e7. So Paul Morphy decides to develop his knight to c3. c6 is being played here by black. Paul Morphy plays bishop to g5. So as you can see, this bishop pins this square knight to the queen, and you cannot move the knight basically to move here and capture this pawn. After bishop to g5, we get to see b5, kind of attacking the knight, attacking the bishop. I apologize. Attacking the bishop takes on c knight takes on c3. Knight takes on b5. Pawn takes on b5, and bishop takes the pawn and checking the king. So in order to protect the king from the check, knight to d7 is being played, and here Paul Morphy decides to long castle. So this knight is being pressured by two different pieces, and it kind of has only one protector here, which is the queen basically, because this knight cannot protect this. Otherwise, if you happen to move this knight uh, and protect this, you will lose your queen. So it's a very amazing move. Sorry, rook to d8 is being played here by Duke and the Count. Now this is kind of a clumsy position. One, two, three. like a very packed up position, I would say, where your king is comfortable. But if in case I had a knight and instead of a bishop I had a knight, and if I would have moved here to this square, that is the c7 square, it would have been a smothered mate, but that's not the case. After rook to d8, Paul Morphy plays rook captures d7, taking this knight, followed by, as a rook captures on d7, the black rook captures the white rook. Now you cannot, now over here you cannot take with the king, as bishop protects the rook. Therefore you have to take with the rook. Now Morphy plays rook to d1, bringing the final piece into the attack, and this rook cannot take the attack here because it is pinned to the king. So here the two players queen to e6, hoping to get the queen's exchange and off the board, and see, and basically you put go into an end game with how many, like one two pieces up. As you can see, Paul Morphy has only one, two, and three pieces here. While on the other hand, black has one, two, three, four, five pieces. So clearly, Paul Morphy is a piece down. But Paul Morphy was a really brilliant genius, and we will find out why. This is a really amazing game we are looking at. After queen to e6, Paul Morphy decides to sacrifice the bishop and plays bishop to d7. Now, as you can see, it's a check as well as attack on the queen. So there has to be something here. Now the two players play knight takes f6, and here is the final blow, like, or a brilliant move which was played by Paul Morphy. Queen to b8 check, sacrificing the queen as it is easier to hang. As in a way you can see he has hanged his queen. The knight can easily capture it. So the two players capture the queen, and here comes the final blow: rook to d8 check and mate with a bishop and a rook. So that was the game for today. I hope you all would have enjoyed it, and if you love it, then please consider giving it a like and sharing it. Also subscribe to the channel if you want to see such more videos, and until then, see you next time. Have a nice day. Bye.